Has your support of Mr. Trump affected any relationships or close business relationships in Silicon Valley?
It certainly has generated a tremendous amount of discussion, gotten a lot of pushback from people, to say the least. But I think my friendships, close working business relationships, I think all those are very well intact.
Do you have any other Silicon Valley businessmen you deal with who are more privately supporting Mr. Trump but don't want to say it publicly?
It's one of the strange things of doing this. It has surfaced, not a large number, but a small number of those people who, of course, all feel like they can't say it in public and whatnot, and are happy that I've done it. So they've sort of been conjured out of the ether. Yes.
Well, let me talk about that for a second. What have you learned this election cycle about Silicon Valley's appetite for political difference?
Well, it's more polarized than I realized. I certainly, I thought of Silicon Valley as a, fairly liberal, fairly democratic place. Overwhelmingly backed Obama in 2008, but I didn't think it was going to be that there would be this sort of a visceral reaction where, and again, most of the larger tech companies. Most of the, many of these people have not said that, you shouldn't be able to back Trump or anything like this, but it's surprising me that anybody would say that, that you're beyond the pale for taking a position that's held by half the country. There are positions that are beyond the pale. There are, extreme fringe views. I've often supported, fringe views in life extension or fringe views in seasteading, which are very minority views. This is the first time I've done something that's actually conventional. It didn't feel contrarian. This was the first, it's the first time I've done something big in my life that was just what half the country believed in. And it's been the most controversial thing ever. So that really surprised me.
Well, have you suffered any, have your company suffered any blowback because of your position?
I don't think so. But I think that would be an even crazier thing. It's like I'm not Trump. The founders of the companies I invest in are not me. Their employees are not the founders. And if you sort of conflate 2 or 3 or 4 groups of people like this, that's a really crazy thing to do. It's perhaps we should occasionally be held partially responsible for people who are 1 degree of separation from us. If you hold people responsible for people who are 2 degrees or 3 degrees of separation, that way lies insanity.
But just to clarify, you don't believe your companies have faced any blowback from consumers or other vendors you deal with because of your position?
Not in any meaningful way, no.